What's up, guys? Welcome back to Moving Against the Flow. Today's video is going to be about prayers. Now, how many of us have prayed for something not necessarily that we need, just for stuff that we wanted, just materialistic things or things that had no significant importance in your life? I know I have. And how many times did you actually get the things you asked for? I'm going to go on a limb and say none, because today I'm going to talk about what prayer was actually meant for, what it was actually created for. And it's not to get you what you want. It is not. I'm just going to say that right now. It's not to get you what you want. It's to get you what you need, and it is to be used for the glory of God. So if you're asking for like a brand new car because you want to look good in front of some girl, probably not going to get that. Now, the reason I chose this topic is because I've been reading in the Old Testament, and it mentions a lot of prayers, a lot of powerful prayers, and I just thought that it would be a good idea to share what prayers were actually meant for. So back in the Old Testament, if you want to go through various stories, there's many examples of people praying and miraculous things happening because of it. You have a prayer that stopped the day. It stopped the sun. It stopped the sun. Like, think about that. It stopped the sun. Have you ever stopped the sun? Have you ever seen the sun stop because somebody prayed for it? Another example is in the Old Testament when Elijah prayed for no rain. It did not rain for 3 years. I mean, that's just amazing, you know? And it wasn't because he just didn't want it to rain because he wanted to go to the beach or something. It actually had purpose behind it. It actually had meaning behind it. And so often we get into these situations where we want things, not things that we necessarily need, but things that we want. Say new clothes, a new car, a boyfriend, or you want something just with no substance in it, and you pray for it and you never get it. And you might be wondering, like, I don't think prayer works. But are you actually praying like you're supposed to? What you're supposed to pray for? Now I'm going to give you kind of like a mindset of what you should, the state of mind that you should be in when you want to pray. I'm going to give you some scriptures because that best explains the kind of state of being you should be in when you want to pray for something. In 1 John 5:14 through 15, it says, "And this is the confidence that we have toward him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us in whatever we ask, we know that we have the requests that we have asked of him." So basically, what that's saying is that if you're going to pray, it's going to further the kingdom of Christ. It's going to give glory to God, and it's not going to be something that's going to harm you, because I mean, think about it. If you're going to ask God for something that's going to harm you, do you think you're going to get it? No. Another example from the Bible is 1 John 3:22. It says, "And whatever we ask, we receive from him, because we keep his commandments and do what pleases him." So, guys, God's not your genie by any means. He is not some magical lamp that you rub and he gives you what you want. I mean, it has to glorify him. It has to help you to become closer to him. He is not some genie that's going to just grant you a bunch of wishes because he has the power to. That's not who God is. God's not careless with what he does. So when you come to him asking for something, it's the same thing as I guess the way we should be living. Not I guess, but it is like the way that we should be living. We shouldn't sin, so we shouldn't ask for anything that would cause sin in our prayers. You know, a good example of a prayer would be for Him to watch over your family, or to pray that your family comes to know Christ. You know, something that's not selfish, something that's not gonna lead to more sin. And I'm saying some of this from experience. I've prayed for some pretty dumb stuff, and you know how much of it I've gotten? None of it. But I do know the power of prayer. Whenever I was in difficult parts of my life, I always prayed for God to help me, and He's always been there. He has always helped me. I cannot, I'm serious, I cannot think of a time where I was in trouble and I prayed and God did not answer my prayer. And I am so grateful to God, and I have no problem with living my life for Him, because I know that when nobody else was there for me, or could be there, where I would allow them to be there, He was. He always was there for me, and without Him answering my prayers, I would not be here today. So guys, I know this video is kind of short, but I could talk about prayer literally like for days. I mean, I couldn't get it all in this video to tell you all about prayer. But what I would recommend is going to the Old Testament and seeing some of these prayers that people actually prayed and God answered. It is very encouraging, it is very uplifting, and you'll be amazed. If you don't know the stories, I encourage you to go read them and find out what God's done for people who've trusted in Him and prayed to Him. So sort of to recap all of this, guys, if you're praying for worldly things, material things, sinful things, you might as well go talk to a brick wall, because God's not going to give you those things. I can guarantee you that. But some examples of prayers that you can do: pray for hope, pray for faith, pray that yours and God's relationship grows deeper and stronger. And if you haven't committed your life to Christ, pray for God to guide you on the steps to do that. Guys, I'm not kidding. God is seriously the best friend, the best everything you could ever have. He's the best God, the only God. And with Him on your side, I guarantee you nothing in this world can crush you, because He's overcame this world. And if you want some more example of things you could pray about, pray for your family. Pray that they may know Christ. If you are a Christian, pray that they may know Christ just as much as you. Because the things that I deal with is, yes, I know Christ and I have a deep relationship with Him, but I pray for my family that doesn't know Christ yet, that doesn't have that relationship with Him. Because if you don't have that relationship with Christ, and when it comes time for judgment, you know what happens. People that don't have a relationship with Christ, they go to hell. So pray non-stop, but don't be repetitive. You're not supposed to pray like saying things over and over. God knows what you're saying, so pray for good, and pray a lot. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you like $1 every time you pray, so go at it. So guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the box below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Also, share this with as many people as you can, because the more people that hear it, the more it can help. Thanks guys. I'll see y'all this weekend.